All right.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to East County Voices. I'm your host, Gavin. I'm here today with Mr. Khalil
What's
and
good,
Mr.
y'all?
Sean.
I'm
Would you all
Khalil.
like to introduce you?
Yeah, I'm gonna introduce myself. I'm Khalil, Malcolm Khalil, and I'm third vice president of the East County NAACP Youth Council, and I'm also a community member, local like activist kind of person. On the creative side, I make a lot of music. I write and rap and engineer, produce. And when I'm not doing that, I'm in the community. Uh, so yeah, go ahead, Sean. I cannot hear him.
We can't hear you.
Sorry, can you
There
hear me
you
now?
go. Yeah,
All right, there
yeah.
we go. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Technical difficulties. My name is Sean. Another person in the community. I like to do a lot of poetry. I like to rap, and I'm getting into producing now. But for a long time, I was in this poetry club, and we were all about the community. We went around, we hosted events and allowed people to get up and speak their voices. So I have had the opportunity to travel around and meet new people, and also really see, all the talent in my community. So that's a little bit about me.
For sure. All right, you go ahead, bro.
All right. So we're just talking and just chilling out to talk about a little bit about Black History Month as we come to the end of Black History Month. But just because it's the end of Black History Month doesn't mean it's the end of Black history.
Mm.
Black history is year round and beyond. We're going to continue talking about it. We're going to continue addressing it because we are the ones that are going to be powerful in our history. We're going to be the ones that make the change happen.
And we had a couple events for Black History Month that really stuck out to me. I know they had the Black Joy Parade in Oakland.
Hmm.
A lot of different creatives came out to that one. That was awesome to see. Sean, do you know of any Black History Month that, like, events that like
Uh-huh.
stuck
Uh,
out to
the,
you, caught you?
Actually, the one that you had stuck out to me, but I wasn't able to make it. I seen it and it looked so cool. Like I would have wanted to be there and really like, get to meet other creatives and stuff like that, but I wasn't able to make it. So, you know.
And then on the flip side of that, there was, I mean, we put on a play, but we just left an event. Actually, we just got back from the what would you call that?
The MLK, um, it was Martin Luther King Jr. Black History Month event
Here, let me
at
pull it up.
LMC.
Yeah,
And LMC hosted a beautiful event. Um, they talked about the advocacy work for what Martin Luther King, and they gave a few awards out. And there was a lot of good people there. Um, Tri Delta was there. The board of supervisor,
huge
Chanel
board.
Skills
Yeah, a lot
person was
of board
there.
members were there.
A lot of the board members were there. It was a great, really well turned out, and I'm glad that the community got to see and be a part of that change.
Yeah, so yeah, the backbone of the event was all of these officials, right? Black and brown elected officials, community organizers, and leaders that were close to LMC being awarded for who was like closely fit into MLK's vision. And they even had Pittsburgh High's principal Reginald
Hmm.
Richardson, great public speaker, really vibrant energy, and it kind of livened the event a lot.
Yeah, it's really something when we all come together and celebrate our blackness.
What about you, Sean? Did you see your former high school, Pitt High? Did they do anything for Black History Month, like as a school?
So actually, Something that is coming up, they're going to be doing a Black History Month like event, but I guess what's happening now is they're gonna like try to pre-record it, and I'm actually gonna take part in that. I'm gonna be doing a poem for the
that's
Black History
good.
Month, so I'm gonna pre-record it, get it all set up, and I'm actually really excited because last year I wanted to be a part of it, but they didn't end up asking the club, and I should have taken some initiative and went up to the club president, but like, hey, you know, I want to help out and I want to be a part of this. And that's something that I regret, you know, not doing because I know deep down in my heart, I wanted to be a part of something like that. You know, I really.
So how does it feel to now be able to share your
I'm excited. Like, I'm really psyched and I want to put as much emotion into it and as much experience that, you know, from my own part that I can. I hope to reach people, like definitely the youth, the younger people before me. I hope that it, you know, sparks something in them to want to be a part of this, you know, really be a part of this, really get to know who they are and really dig deep, you know, because like I'm learning who I am and I'm trying to figure it out. You know, we all have these roadblocks, but you know, as long as you're trying, that's really what matters. As long as you're trying, you know.
Always, yeah. It's never
Take that step. You know, take that step. You gotta start. You gotta move forward. You know, even if it's like just a little bit. You know, you pick up things here and there. But yeah, they're gonna be hosting that event soon. So
that's awesome, dude. Do you have a date on that? We could plug you in.
I don't have an exact date. I have been talking to the president a little bit on like what my part is in it. But I'm definitely gonna hit him up tonight and see, you know, like when the event's gonna start. But I'm gonna record it. Like I told him that like if I can't show up because I got work, then I'm gonna pre-record my stuff. So I'm gonna ask him for the details and I'm gonna hit you up, Khalil, and let you know when it is. So
okay, that's like those. I mean, it reminds me of the play we did as the East County NAACP Youth Council. We put on a play that commemorated the community organizers and leaders that were the most beloved to us, and we showed them honor by portraying them. Each different member got to portray an elected like leader or official up on stage and tell their story as them for that gravitas, and it impacted like a lot of the kids showed up. We had
hey, okay.
Yeah, we were close to 100 people, and it wasn't just elected officials that we portrayed. It was also activists that's been here in the community and that have been doing the work, and the people that came before us on down to the people that are current. And we talked about our history because the East County NAACP Youth Council has history now. We are proud of that history. And speaking of the NAACP and celebrating African American leaders, the Image Awards was a great turnout, and we got to attend the NAACP Black Youth Brunch, which was informative, and also it was full of people that were creators and content creators and celebrities that came together. So it was actually a great part of introducing the small people to the big people and having them be together and collaborate and network and share each other's stories of what it's like to mean to work in this industry and be an activist and pull try to pull together as one and the struggles that we go through.
Yeah, it was crazy because right after the event, he's rushing to LA to he took one of the members with him. He took him hostage, and they had a great time at the luncheon. Just came right back and went to the MK thing. But if you want to talk about like go ahead.
Sorry, not to interrupt. I have a question. Like, are you gonna have any other events like besides the one you're having for, you know, the one you just had or the one you had this month? Like,
that's really what we do is every once in a while we'll all come in, put our heads together, try to hunt down a venue, hunt down a date, and then put something on, whether that's a fundraiser or something to help out the community. We have continued to expand and look for new avenues to reach out. So yeah,
Hey, man. Hey, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? I would definitely like to know when the next one is. I definitely like
sure.
to, show
Yeah,
up.
we have
Support.
them. We would plug it. We would
Yeah.
definitely plug it in. But we was really just trying to like reflect and kind of like check in, see where everybody's at, really, like just outlook wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like like you're in the community often.
hmm
What's some things you've been like noticing just passing through and from Pittsburgh?
Definitely as of recently, like we're at work, we have like a bad homeless problem. People will come in there and they'll they'll be looking for food or a place to rest, and it's like, we have to like we can't allow them to stay there, like, and I feel bad because I'm like, people in the community need help, and sometimes like they don't have that help, they don't have those resources, and they're not as able as everybody else to do so or to get there. So seeing that, it definitely does make me think, like, why are we helping them, or why can't we do something to help them? At least like offer deals like free meals or something like that. Like, I was outside one night, I ended up getting a tip, working, got a tip. I got off late and I got outside. I was going to head to the store, and I seen this guy who actually came inside the job earlier during the day and ordered something. And I was like, I got this $10 bill.
Right.
Go to the store and I could go buy something, or I could give it to him, because if I have it and I can do it, why not give? Why not give back? And it's like, I could pass that on. So it definitely did make me feel good to, help somebody out in that way, when I could, or when I'm able to.
Right. And that's literally just you, you know.
Yeah, like,
That's take money out of your own pocket. And there are many different strategies at work around the community to address the homeless problem. A couple organizations, and really our best chance is our council. That's the organization that's gonna get us through this the strongest, is the right type of policy. I mean, I've talked to our city council before. I've heard their
Which city council?
oh yeah, I've talked to Antioch City Council before, not Pittsburgh, and I can tell that they're looking at this homeless issue with a really thorough perspective, because they told me they're like, from what they've monitored, is that it's not just a group, like individuals that are experiencing homelessness, that are like around each other. It's right now becoming a community, like these encampments and these groups are. There's a community aspect of what they're going through, and we have to be wary of that. Like, they're forming like bonds in our community, and that's before we came into council and demanded this and that, and before we've even put our voices out there. And it really goes to show, like, these are just people, like these are just citizens, like they deserve a chance.
And then also with homelessness, we should also thank the people that fought for the homelessness to stop, and to get these people housing and get justice for them, because there's also this thing going out about making homelessness illegal. So they're trying to arrest people to give people excuses to put them in the jail system. That's not going to stop it. That's just going to fill up the prison system, and they fill up the prison system already, full of African American men, mainly African American men that are youth.
It's
And
huge.
it's full of it's just full of us. And it doesn't matter if you were guilty or innocent, they will still charge you guilty either way.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, you can look at the track record of governments and bodies that try to outlaw their homeless problem and arrest their way out of the homeless. It never works out for the people.
Mm-mm.
And you're right. When you talked about thanking the people, there are certain forces in our own community that can drive our, working class tenants and citizens towards homelessness with like unjust evictions, right?
Yeah.
Poorly timed notices, and just the landlord tenant relationships can get so hostile and in this oppressive like nature, because as a resident and as a working class citizen or somebody who's living paycheck to paycheck and has to choose between all these different expenses.
Yeah, like, am I gonna eat today, or am I gonna buy
You got to
clothes?
pick, right? That's not just choosing.
Yeah,
You have to actually sacrifice one for the other when someone boils down to it. And
right.
then they got these landlords kind of breathing down their neck about it. And so we partnered with like there's a couple organizations that came together, rallied outside our Antioch City Council building, right? We
Yeah.
had Rising Juntos, we had ACE, we had us, we had Lift Up Contra Costa, Reimagine Antioch,
Wow.
and of course the individuals that make these groups such powerful organizations.
And
And
then
they started turning the tide, right?
yeah, and now that Antioch has one of the strongest um, procedures for just cause eviction, now they now some of the people on the city council want to undo it because it was under a black man's leadership.
Well, to break that down, back in the days when we were fighting for these policies, before the change in mayoral power, we signed off on. Oh yeah, Monument Impact. That's a good one in chat. I should start reading chat more. Oh yeah, so before that, we passed policies, right? We built some really strong protections for our tenants. The big landlords weren't happy because they were finally experiencing some regulation on how much they're able to hike up the rent, and how often they're able to pull these like unjust like evictions. And I actually didn't know they were trying to. Their new council was trying to like undo that, or calling for that. But if you wanted to expand on that,
yeah, there was a city council member in Antioch who said that verbatim, because it's recorded, and you can go on antiochcitycouncil.gov to look this up. He said verbatim that he was working to get rid of the city manager. He worked to get rid of the city attorney, the police oversight commission, and to undo what the previous mayor did and accomplish. Now we want to go backwards instead of forwards, even though what he did helped our economy and helped our budget and helped our society and community as a whole, because our community was not Antioch's community was not only affecting Antioch, but it was affecting the other cities around it because of the lack of transportation and transparency that was going on in that.
CAA, California Apartment Association, Microvatica and Loyola are both real estate property investment folks. Google Blue Line Real Estate. That's important.
Okay.
Which which hands are in which pockets, right? You don't even have to follow their story or their campaign. Just follow the money. I mean, you can kind of see from there what the vested interests are.
Or look on that page for they have websites where they was getting money and sponsors and stuff like that from other organizations that were not for the people. Like one of them was when they ran for office, they got one from the police. And you know, they're also this a whole back the blue situation, and you know,
Yeah, it's not just any police
it's
department.
not just any police department, but it's just the fact that we're fighting for one thing, and these individuals are fighting to make it seem like they're for us, but they're really not for us.
Right. I mean, right now we've got cropping up different organizations to help out the youth, right? Not just us. We got Pittsburgh Prodigies. We got Studio 212. We got Bridge Builders. We got
NAMI.
We got NAMI Contra Costa. That's mental health advocacy and youth like work there. I know people that work.
The NAACP.
Yeah, I would like to say, honestly, like everything that you guys are talking about right now, like I have no knowledge of any of this. So like, I just want to thank you again for, you know, educating me and telling me where to go and telling me where to look. This is definitely very helpful for me. I got my notebook out. I'm taking notes. You know, I think everybody at home should take notes too. If you feel like you don't have a lot of knowledge on it, definitely take notes and, you know,
it's important. Yeah.
look in that direction.
You know, to turn the page, we want you to educate us because you were a member of, or you are a member of Pittsburgh Prodigies.
Oh yeah, always.
Yeah.
And,
if you could get us in on that, basically from what you guys have been up to, from what you guys started and until like what you guys been up to lately.
Knowledge is power. Yeah, to answer that, I want to take you back real quick to what the club is, because when we started, we were just a poetry club. You know, I mean, well, actually, not when we started, because I joined and the club was already up, but I was definitely one of the, I would say I'm one of the pillars of the club. I'm definitely a strong pillar in the club, and there's multiple other strong pillars in this club, but you know, I wasn't always a strong pillar. It took time. Like I had to grow and I had to really like, you know, figure it out. But the club.
What would you say some of your duties were like?
In the club.
Starting up in the club, like
yeah,
you were a big pillar. You were foundational to its existence.
Yeah, I was.
What were you running around doing?
Yes. So before I was the club president my senior year, but before I was the club president, I was just, you know, a regular club mate. You know, I showed up, we did poetry, we went to different events, basically just doing poetry, getting our name out there. As I became the president of the club, I feel like it was definitely a hard year because we had to restart, we had to rebuild. And I felt like I could have done a little better as the president. I feel like I could have gone to more people. I could have, you know, shown more energy to people, got out there a little more. We definitely were doing announcements and stuff. So like it was my job to be the face, you know, do the presentations for the announcements. I had a co-president with me. And we would basically go announcements, talk about our club, talk about the things we do. And it was open to everybody. It didn't matter if you did poetry, did rap or not. It was just about being there for the community and giving them a chance to speak, allowing them to, you know, to use their voice, you know, helping them use their voice also, not just like, you know, saying, here, speak. Like, you know, if you
get them like workshops and stuff, right? You meet them where they're at.
Yeah. Like we do workshops, we meet them where they're at. Like if they have any questions or need any help, like that's what we're there for. Um, I
Okay,
do.
so,
Oh yeah, sorry.
catch us up on the latest of what you guys have been up to.
Yeah, so as of lately, I haven't been there as much because life, school. But I've showed up to like 2 events so far that we've thrown at like LMC and DVC, and basically we're reaching out to other communities and allowing everybody else from all over to come and have the chance to show their art and speak what they have inside. You know what I'm saying? Speak the knowledge, anything like we're trying to expand more. Like we're not just trying to stay in this community, but we're trying to go to other communities that don't have resources like this or don't have opportunities like this. So that's our goal. That's our plan. We're trying to expand and trying to get more people into it, so we can help. Like
It's awesome.
it's
Yeah,
it's
I mean, I can speak from firsthand. Um, this sense of camaraderie and community with you guys is unmatched. I've seen you
yeah.
guys'
Thanks.
workshops I sat in. I've seen you guys' kind of lead like the teacher involved,
Yeah,
Mr.
Mr. Finn. Mr. Finn. He's
Mr.
like,
Fair.
yeah.
Such a like down to earth guy. He's like the people's champion for the youth in there. How would
Oh
you
yeah.
describe the sense of like community while you're surrounded by all of these different creatives that are working away at their voices and refining their passion?
For me, I can say it was definitely inspiring. It made me want to get better. It made me want to grow with my art and really, really, really have something to speak about. Like when I first got there, I was just having fun, saying whatever. But then I started to realize like I want to spread a message. I want to spread something that's positive, something that's inspiring to the people. And everybody in there in the club, like they helped me. They helped me grow in that sense. They all had something to speak about. They all had something to talk about that is definitely worth listening to. Um, and it inspired me. It empowered me as someone of the youth to see my fellow peers being able to have so much power with their words and show so much resilience. It was beautiful. And I feel like it is a great atmosphere for someone trying to find their way. It definitely helps them find which direction they want to head in.
Right. So yeah, I agree. It's not only a place to use your voice and express yourself, but to grow your voice,
Yeah.
to instill this fundamental, you know, foundation around your work. And you said it made you want to start talking about something. I mean, you started writing
Yeah.
certain pieces, right? And you're incorporating all of these unique parts of your identity, like your adversities and you're tracing back your lineage and you're
Yeah.
um, really putting it all on the table. Um,
All of
so
it,
yeah.
like everything, going deep within, like everything that I'm experiencing with my community and with myself, because I'm a part of this community too. So like, I gotta show you my story, and and not that also doesn't just involve who I am outside, but who I am on the inside, who I am in this house, who I am in this little bubble of mine. um it is definitely like it's I can't find the exact words right now. I'll come back when I have the exact words, but it's
I mean, I think it might go a little under talked about, but in these times of like advanced organization and strategy and policies back and forth and the fight, it's important to have those times of self-expression. I know you express yourself in a lot of different mediums. How would you describe what you do to express yourself through these times?
Well, for one, I express my if I really want to express my frustration, I do it through artistic form. So that would be either like me dancing, or that would be like me through like poetry is one of them.
Mm.
Me even one of my biggest projects that I did was called Police Brutality, and Police Brutality was what I wrote that whole scene because of out of frustration what was going on at the time. At the time, we was going through the pandemic, and they just killed George Floyd and Breonna Taylor, and the police racist text message scandal had broke out through all the media, and it was here in Antioch, but it was also involving Pittsburgh police and Antioch police. And the Antioch police were coming here and attacking the people in Pittsburgh and in Antioch, and who else knows what other cities they were.
And so that
So
made you that
that
evoked something in you.
that made me wrote the play, which has quite it has does have strong language in it. But I took that frustration and made something beautiful out of it, because I'm not going to let something negative to try to destroy me and try to quiet my light or my voice. I will let my work speak for me. I let my work cry for me. I let it
Mm.
do what it needs to do, because we I want to make sure I'm okay, and that's one of the ways I can check in with myself mentally. And also, it's just very therapeutic when you have something just for you, and you just if you love to express yourself, find a different way to express it, because sometimes it's just a lot.
Can be a lot.
Yeah, like tying in on that, I definitely understand how stressful it can be at times to have all this frustration built up, whether that's, about your community, or just how you feel in general about life. Like, sometimes you need an outlet, sometimes you need a way out. And if you're not finding that way out, you're gonna self-destruct. And playing on the poem or the play you talked about, I did a poem called Somewhere in America. And it was a prompt that the Prodigies actually did inside of the classroom. Mr. Finn had us, he wrote it on the board, and he had us basically just play on that. And I was thinking about all my frustration towards, everything that was going on during quarantine with, the BLM protest and all the killings and just the chaotic time we were in. I definitely channeled a lot of anger into that poem, because that's how I was feeling. That's the frustration I was feeling, and it's still not done. Because to be honest, like, that is a poem that I think that I feel that I'm gonna have to keep adding to, because it never really ends. It never ends. It's a constant thing that happens and that keeps going on. So um I definitely understand having that outlet and finding somewhere to put that anger and that the sadness and the feelings towards what is happening to our people in today. um
Thanks, yeah.
yeah.
And in this, this busy world, this business world that we're in all the time, we kind of have the tendency to shrink our hobbies down into like, okay, this is what I do in my free time, but it's only like a small part of myself.
Yeah.
When in actuality, it's like such a reflecting process, and it's you're creating through all these different mediums. It's like as small time as most spend doing that. It's like in contrast, it's like the you that's like the biggest like part of yourself. Like that's your truest expression of yourself. It's
Yeah.
like a silhouette or like a cast mold of like an imprint of
Mm.
the state of your being.
Yeah.
Um,
And I noticed like something that me and you have been doing recently, Khalil, is when we create music and when we talk about music, like trying to apply that feeling, that love that we feel for music and everything that we do, hobbies and all the ideas, trying to apply that everywhere else in our life besides just in that moment when we're creating. You know, it's like you don't just want to have, oh, you know, I love doing this, like you only feel happy when you're doing that thing that you're doing. You want to be able to channel that and feel that in everything that you do in your life. You know, I feel like that will help you
that's
continue on and keep pushing.
right. I mean, when it comes to those moments, right, where you feel like you spend a bulk of your day um,
oh uh
being,
oh sorry.
you want to read chat?
Yeah, sorry, I was looking at chat. It said someone said let's hear it, say some of it. Are you talking about the poem, the Somewhere in America poem?
And you
Sorry,
repeat.
I didn't mean to
Oh,
rudely
you're
cut
good.
you off. I'm paying attention to chat while also talking because you know I want to be able to communicate with both. You know,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, continue. Sorry about that.
Okay. Is that me?
No, I
Okay.
think that's me. My fault.
Okay, you're good. Oh yeah. So there, in these times where like you feel like you spend a lot of the time, a lot of the day, kind of just being you, and you
Mm-hmm.
spend only a chunk of the day doing you. You know what I'm saying? Uh,
Mm,
you kind of feel so removed from like the daily actions of your own life when you shut out that part of yourself, uh, and you kind of open when you open up the door and like actually listen to what's going on in your head. It can make everything feels like a lot clearer, you know.
yeah.
Can we hear a
Oh,
poem?
did you wanted to
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
the poem
You want
that?
to? Would
Okay.
you be comfortable
Um.
reading?
Yeah, I'll
Uh,
be comfortable reading it. It does have some profanity in it. I could like try to block it out. Oh, give me 1 second. Sorry, my mom's calling. Give me 1 second.
you're
Okay.
good, man.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody wants to hear the poem, dude.
Yeah.
So,
So meanwhile, while we wait,
what you want to talk about?
talk. Let's talk about the what's been going on in Antioch
Where at?
at the city council.
Okay.
So the city council, as you know, they put a so-called pause on the police oversight commission, and the police oversight commission. Many people don't know that the East County NAACP Youth Council, we fought for that particular commission to be there, and it was just a whole lot going on. And now that some people resigned, there's only 4 members. They're trying to demand that they put a pause when they can't because it's not council's decision. It's actually the commission itself because the commission is independent in that way, but that's their only independence. There,
Mm,
but we need to step in and as a community and bring your you need to bring your youth and bring people in the community to say, no, we don't want the commission to go away because if the commission goes away, that means the DOJ and the FBI will step in and possibly take over.
mm,
And what it means is that these police officers can get away with whatever it is they're doing and continue doing the same agenda, which that's what they want. They want to cover up. They want to hide. We deserve better. We deserve a future. The youth deserve better in the future. And the youth, y'all in middle school and high school and college need to step up and get out in these city council meetings and start speaking up and these school board meetings because if y'all don't, They're going to continue to walk on us, and we got to let them know that they're not going to keep using us for propaganda or a smile for our parents to vote.
Powerful. Powerful. Snap it up.
All right,
Snap it up.
that's all, man.
Okay. I'll try to channel the same energy I had. Somewhere in America, there is a rose growing from concrete. Thousands of roses actually sprouting with hunger, starved by the money-hungry politicians that got money for laws to control a woman's body or a person's freedom or right for sexual preference, but not enough money to feed the poor or better health care or funding for schools or low-income families caught up in insanity, soon to be losing their humanity. It's driving me crazy. I'm gasping for air, losing my grip. God help me now. I pray I don't trip. I need to quench my thirst, approached by a thief. Water in his hand, he let me take a sip. First I had all my strength, oh wow how it's flipped. Caught in the trap at the hands of a thief. He reached in my pocket and laughed while I weep. I couldn't make a noise while I lay flat in the street. Fuck, who gonna help me now? I ain't never asked for shit. I don't need your help. I was just dropped in the bullshit with my heart left on the shelf. I mean, my heart left on my sleeve, battered and squeezed. Giving niggas some space, it's getting hard to breathe. Damn, is this the end? I'm coming towards the light. Somewhere in America, another black boy has lost his life. Another black mother, her son. A couple more black boys on the run, fearing their captors, pursuing them with their 7K9s disguised in their bright blue outfits. Screaming, I'm a true patriot. You have no place here. Go back to your mud houses with your sticks and tribal calls. Bitch, I'm American. I was born on this soil. My roots paved the foundation of this country's core. You pillage our land to have the nerve to ask us to fight your wars? Well, no, I'm not having it. I refuse to fight for a country that's governed by hate and avarice, downplaying my grief, stay disturbing my peace while you kill all my brothers and leave their bodies in the street. I know some of you heard, but there's strange fruit in these trees. My brother's blood on the leaves. And you expect me to believe that America is truly free from racist or fascist police, claiming we violent but hold the gun to our teeth, or keep us bounded by chains and putting fear in our brains, claim this is a democracy, but the conservatives reign. Most of these politicians old and white. What could you know about our pain? Try to act like you care because you want the black vote. That's all I have so far. I'm sorry, the flows get a little,
That's awesome.
We could definitely see where you was going on that one, man.
Thank you. Got to touch it up a little more.
It's with power, dude.
Yes, and I love how it just tied into what I said.
It was powerful, bro.
Yeah.
His delivery is right there.
Thank you.
You should, you know what? You should go to the Antioch City Council and just say that.
You should just spit that, like,
say that poem.
Pick up the
I see
card.
the Billie Holiday. I added the blood on leaves because it's true. Our blood's on leaves.
Yeah.
Killing our people.
We need our poets to come and speak poetry to these city council meetings.
Yeah, like definitely. I feel like getting the prodigies to do that. I feel like we'll be there.
It would be a crazy statement piece. Okay, it would define your alignment.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but it offers, some real nuance. This isn't just a group of angry people. This is a group of thinkers that has seen with their own eyes our plight and disparity, and it's honestly what we need. Shout out Jose Cordon.
Cordon, I've done it for Jose Cordon through the Pittsburgh Prodigies, and I was definitely grateful.
Yep, he's aware of y'all. He spoke at your event before, right? He's done
it. He's been to Pittsburgh Prodigy events, so we tapped in with him. I was gonna say something that you said. You were like, this isn't just a group of angry people, but critical thinkers, and not just critical thinkers, but people who are tired. How much longer are we supposed to sit by and let them keep doing this to us? Or let them get away with, the unjust treatment? Like, enough is enough. And you know, speaking from experience, like, you know, being nervous or scared to speak, like it doesn't get you anywhere. And sometimes you need help. Sometimes you need people to, you know, help you find your voice and lift you up. And you know, that's why it is great to find these communities. And you know, for me, it was Pittsburgh Prodigies. You know, that was my community that helped me find my voice. So I definitely think that we should push more organizations and communities like the Pittsburgh Prodigies or the NAACP, or you know, working with Jose Cordon or other organizations out there. Like, you know, I think that's very important for the youth to have some guidance. We definitely need guidance.
Right. So right now, what we need is the youth to come out and speak. We need our poets to come out and speak. We need the people that are being affected by this, because it's really funny how you don't have enough money to support the city manager to get an assistant city manager, but yet you have the money and the funds to leave the building that y'all just renovated and move it to a different part of Antioch. Really? Then let's go down the other list. Y'all want to talk about none of that stuff happened? I'm sorry. Well, we was not all at the same city council meeting where y'all was calling the mayor a gorilla, and we was not at the same city council meeting where y'all was talking about, oh, let's bring old Antioch back, or calling our African American women water buffaloes, having us talking about getting a setting up a GoFundMe or a fundraiser to have the mayor on a pitchfork. Or we're not going to talk about how you guys were actively talking about hanging nooses for the African Americans that live here. We're not going to address that either. We're not going to address how they had a youth to come to Pittsburgh High dressed in a Klan suit. We're not going to talk about how you guys took those African Americans that was both living in Pittsburgh and Antioch, and not only y'all mistreated them, but y'all searched them, beat them, and did other things to them. Because you did it to Lamar Baldwin until his death. Y'all beat him. Y'all falsely arrested him. Y'all drove him and his brother mad. There's a mother that's now hurting because she lost both of her sons. How many mothers are going to cry about this stuff? When is enough going to be enough? When are our brothers and sisters going to say that's enough? Because this could easily be my brother. This could easily be my sister, my niece, my nephew, my cousin, my mom, my dad. It could be easily any one of us.
Right.
So when is enough going to be enough? And when are we going to start holding these elected officials accountable for this stuff that they are doing that is not even morally right? Why is that your morals? Where is your moral compass? Where is your heart at? Because it's evidently not serving the people like y'all are supposed to be sworn and protect to. Just like the police officers are supposed to be sworn to protect us. Mm-hmm. Just like every elected official is sworn and protect us. The governor, the president of the United States, all the way down to the city council, to the school board, y'all are supposed to serve the people. Why are y'all not doing that?
Don't get started on the school board now.
Man, don't. Oh, man.
And downs. It's been a wild ride.
Especially from my experience, like
go ahead.
At Pitt, I want to say it was 2022. I want to say it was my sophomore year. I wasn't there due to personal family issues, but we had an event that was on the news, the KKK incident, where a kid came to school dressed up as a KKK member, and there were other black kids posing with him and taking pictures with him, and like he was able to get through four periods before he was stopped. And the most trouble he got in was, I think he got sent to like a juvenile correction facility or something like that. But he was able to come back, and he had to transfer schools. But I thought that was crazy.
No, it
like,
is.
y'all sitting up here posing with him, taking pictures. Y'all on the news, like that is just something. That is just
Definitely a stain.
disgusting.
Yeah, definitely a stain on the whole school system.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean,
because
for
they
them to
want to
let
get
that
rid
in,
of our books and our
let that
history.
go. I mean, such a lapse in like such a relaxed vibe when you're surrounded by the fruits of the efforts of the KKK. You're surrounded by these people that still believe in the same ideas. So it's not just a costume to play around in. Of course, they probably weren't even as aware of the weight of such a portrayal. But I mean, it just goes to show like how undereducated, But it goes back to the school system. I mean, we got similar problems in any school district. If you want to harp in on that.
So,
man,
I'm not going to talk about Antioch, but I'm going to talk about the school system in general. One, we're getting our books taken away and our history taken away. And this is the reason why I said it's so important for the youth to stand up. The youth deserve a voice. They should be on these city councils, boards, and commissions, and they can actually run for these boards and commissions, and they're being told not to, or they're not being given the information. So when can we have people that are not biased and letting this one size fit all people come to these school board and city council meeting and talk about, oh, well, at my school we talked about how we sold cookies and how we did a fundraiser for the school, but we're not going to talk about the drugs that go on in the schools. We're not going to talk about the violence that go on in the schools, between the African Americans and the other races that go on. What about the African Americans that are constantly being attacked and being expelled or expended and being put into the prison pipeline? When are we going to address that?
Right. I mean, the proof is in the infrastructure, right? Right now, there are a bunch of Antioch youth growing up in a system designed for them to fail in terms of the way they're handled throughout classes, right? Yeah. You got these teachers that, we got some of the highest paying teachers as a district, and they're still failing. And our, African American test scores are some of the highest. We have some of the highest expulsion rates and the highest test failure rates. You've got unjust expulsions consisting of the same story amongst a wide array of African Americans. They're saying that they are violent and they're sexually violent, and that they're just, I don't know if they want to call it like what would you call that? Like what they're trying to do?
They're trying to make us seem like we're a villain. And like, I'll give one example. There's been stories where there'll be African American male youth that will have their pockets in their hands in their pockets because it's cold outside or whatever, or just walking around with their hands in their pockets. They're accusing them of having a weapon. They're accusing them of like masturbating in class or masturbating outside in front of other students, or they're accusing them of threatening the teacher or disobeying the teacher, and they're literally not doing anything besides doing their work or just walking by.
But they don't talk about how teachers, cross a line and they belittle the Black students, or they overstep their boundaries, they cross over, and they do a lot of inappropriate things that they shouldn't be doing as teachers. But the focus is on us, right? we're
Right.
so wild and
We are the result
right?
of our own like misleading. At the end of the day, that was like a summation when a student does lash out or when violence does accrue. It's like what kind of environment are they walking into? And I
Right.
was saying this at our last state convention. I was saying that the kids don't come into school just wearing, they shirt and they pants and they shoes and they backpack and they socks. They come into school wearing what was said to them,
Mm.
how it was said to them. They come into school wearing their living situation,
Hmm.
you know, and it all factors in to how a kid is moving like throughout the classroom. I mean, you can see it in the reluctance of our school board, right, in passing these policies. For some reason, can never get along on a vote for like a better, stronger policy towards protecting the youth, or just towards how disputes are handled.
Mm.
I mean, you want to talk about like the larger dispute that like sparked a bunch of the community towards the school board meetings for like a year.
Oh,
Uh,
can I
yeah,
add on something you said real quick?
yeah,
Please hold the thought. Hold the thought. Don't lose it. You know, back to moving in the classroom and how they label us in the classroom, it's like they're not helping us the way that we need to be helped. So, if they can't help us, then we're just kind of released into this environment to react how we're going to react. And if nobody's talking to us, or nobody is being there the way that we need them to be there for us, well, I mean, like, what else are we supposed to do? How else are we supposed to go about it, as the youth? Sorry, you
exactly.
can continue what you said.
Yeah. So with that, also, how about this?
Mm,
So the youth, when we're in these schools, we're not heard at all. It's very much like, oh, you can have a complaint box, and that's about it. It doesn't go no further than that, no less than that. It's just dealt with, and then if you're a black youth, they love to point you as guilty automatically. If you doesn't matter if you did something right or wrong, you're
just off the
guilty.
color of your skin. Off the color of your skin, the way your hair is.
I remember I was being bullied in school, and instead of the school doing something about it, like this one student literally threatened to shoot up the school behind the bullying stuff. And instead of them believing the victim, they called the police on me
Mm.
and said I had a weapon. But that's what happens when you tell the truth when you're a black student.
Yeah. And one thing I would like to add is that definitely, we got 1 minute left. Definitely, my experiences with the school system in from elementary up to middle school, like, they definitely labeled me as violent, or said I had ADHD, or thought I need to be on medicine, because, like, I've had teachers like that actually like ask me like, hey, you still on that medicine? It's like I never took medicine in my life, but because I was so hyper, or because I didn't know how to control my anger or deal with the things that were happening to me, in my life, they just labeled me as violent. And really, it was just, I was misunderstood, and no one took the time to help me
Mm.
in my school, community. Like, I felt alone.
Mm-hmm. Oh, all right. Let's end on something positive.
Okay.
So what's going to be positive change? We're going to get justice. We're going to start mobilizing and coming out to meetings.
We're gonna start checking in on each other.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
gonna start having more conversations like these. We're gonna start reaching out to like your quiet friend or your loud friend, even.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta. We start checking in on each other, and then we become more aware because I heard this from a licensed therapist. She said community care is self care.
We
You know what I'm
can't.
saying? It's
Sorry,
a
I was
big
reading.
body, but great points have been brought up in chat. So I hope you guys have been following along with that in a better way than we have. Shout out everybody in chat.
Yeah, shout out everybody in chat.
Thank you
And
for listening. Thank you for
yeah,
watching.
thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate, you giving me the opportunity to come on here and speak,
Right.
my
If you
part.
want to find us, maybe drop your IG in chat, and then
Me?
yeah, because like
Oh,
if you
yeah.
have one to reach out to the community on,
There we go. You can find me right here.
Okay.
I'm on there. Sometimes I'm not on there. Post music and, whatever I want on there. But yeah. If you want to hit me up, ask me any questions about the club, any poetry, anything, I'm always down to listen and answer questions.
That's right.
Right. Well, thank you again, Sean and Khalil, for joining East County Voices. Thank you, everyone that could come out tonight. We love and appreciate you always, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our videos and our live streams because they're important. They're important, and these community conversations need to happen.
That's right.
Yeah, they do. They
Yeah,
do.
I guess
More youth needs to get involved.